Regardless religion, your status, your goals, it's where everyone grows from what everyone knows.
Sistah Chat Radio, turn us on, enjoy the show. Nourishing for the soul.
Your purpose, your passion, yes, we can discuss. Designed just for you, yeah, you can trust us.
Good evening and welcome to Sistah Chat. We are on WSMR 100 FM and we are so glad that you are joining us this evening. I'm Sarah Smith-Katz, aka Lady Sarah, and we are going to have a fabulous show for you. Joining us this evening is... You got to introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, this is Deborah Kofer, aka Mama C, and it's going to be real fun. I don't have to be the only comedian in front of the mic today, so
that's
I'm
right.
Depending on you a lot.
Thank you.
Behind the scenes, we have Jennifer Newland. Alex, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, everybody.
Our Mr. Sistah, that is our new intern. We have Chanel Diane back on the board. She's going to be communicating with all you folks that are going to be joining us in the chat room. We also have our business manager to my right, Holly Kearns.
Hey, everybody.
And this evening, we have the distinct pleasure of having Matthew Kamont, the Lehigh Valley Medium.
Thank you so much for having me back again.
We love having you on the show.
You absolutely had to come back because I was sick the last time you were here.
That's
and
right.
I wanted to meet you. I wanted to be there that night. So you know what?
You were in
my back
spirit.
was my back was acting up today, and Alex had to help me come down the stairs. But I was coming, come hook or crook.
Before we get started, we want to let everyone know that during our Get Seen in the Poconos segment, we met with Ibani Gaspard, and she left with us a $25 gift certificate for her shop Above the Bar, which is a soapery and gift emporium. So if you comment on our show this evening, you will be entered to win this by the end of the evening. But the only way you're going to win is if you get involved and have a conversation with us. So please make sure that to get on your tablet, get on your computer, get on your phone, and have a conversation with us while we're talking to Matthew. Behind us, we have some folks that have joined us.
You have a
Yes,
live
we have a
audience.
audience.
Hi, ladies. The rowdy bunch.
And we are always so happy to have you join us. How are you doing tonight, Matthew?
I'm wonderful. I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
I got my hair cut for you.
Oh,
I got
it
my
looks
hair cut for
fabulous.
you.
I put glitter in it too.
Okay.
Oh, yes, you did.
You going all the way. All right.
Well, it's not that kind of show.
Oh,
You
well,
never
it's not
know
this
with
week.
Mama C.
Yeah, not this
It could be.
Yeah, with me here, it could be, you know.
Oh, my goodness. So tell us a little bit about how you got started with all of this, because I know that at one point you didn't really realize that you were a medium.
I didn't realize I was a medium until I hit my 30s. So I knew I had a gift my whole entire life, but I just didn't understand what it is. And so many people are out there that are in the same situation where they know they have a gift. They know there's something different about them, but they don't know what it is. And that was me. I was walking around my whole life thinking I was ADD because I'm seeing all these images and I'm feeling energies but I didn't know what that was. I was, a kid.
You know what? I can commiserate with you because I didn't find out I was an empath until my 50s, late 40s, early 50s.
It's because it's now all over the place. It's nationwide. It's worldwide. I mean, it's a phenomenon.
It is. People are awakening to their gifts, and they're seeking answers and not being afraid of their gifts. And I think that that's so important. And once, someone said to me, "You're an empath." And I had never heard the term before. I went and did all of my homework. They gave me a little bit, but they left it up to me to do the research, and I did.
Well, really, it is, and that's a great point that you just made. It's up to you. Everybody's talent or gift, God-given gift, is different. So
yes.
Not every single person is a medium just like me.
Right.
I mean, some people will see the spirits. I don't.
Right.
I don't want to see them. They can stay where they are. I don't need to see them. That's okay. But some do. Some will communicate with them, sit on the edge of their bed, talk to them when they were children, all of that. I don't get that. So, and I'm so grateful that I don't. I get it all. Mine's internal. So I'm getting images, signs, symbols, things.
Inside.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that's why I never knew that I was a medium. I would think to be a medium, you would need to see dead people, and I was never seeing dead people.
I see dead people. But
I
not in the sense that we're talking about. You know,
Okay,
you look and say, "Oh, look at that deadbeat or that deadhead or
Okay.
that." I see those
I call
kind
them
of dead
something
people.
else.
Matthew, tell us a little bit about how you actually discovered that you were a medium.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, we kind of got off topic.
That's okay.
It was actually from watching Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium, that I really started to like zero in on, like, okay, this sounds a little too familiar. But again, I didn't think medium. So I actually was looking around for information on different psychics and mediums in the area. I couldn't find anybody I could relate to. So I actually went to Teresa's spiritual advisor. Her name is Pat Longo. She's amazing. She's a world-renowned healer. She's not a medium. She's actually a healer. And I booked an appointment with her. And I'll tell you, 5 minutes in, she's like, honey, you're a medium. And I'm telling you, you should have seen my face. I'm like, excuse me? A medium? I'm
what?
like, no. So when she said, yeah, oh, yeah, honey. So I'm like dead people? And she said, yes. I'm like, I don't want to talk to dead people. She goes, honey, who do you think you're talking to? And I said, I don't know. That's why I'm here. So it's a joke, but it's funny. It's the truth. And so she explained to me how this works. And it is true. Because I explained to her, I'm going to cut that part out because it takes too long to explain. But I explained to her how I see things and the way that I feel things. And she instantly knew. Now, I'm the one telling people they're mediums half the time. But because it raises a red flag when people start saying some of these things that they're experiencing themselves.
Right.
It raises, the minute I hear something, I'm like, oh, they're a medium.
Yep.
Like,
Same thing happened to me once I learned I was an empath and did all of the research on it. I even created a secret Facebook page for other people who are also empaths.
Yeah.
And I identified, I said, you're an empath. You're not, and they're like, what? They were like me.
and
you
let's
know?
explain real quick because we know what empaths are, but people who are listening may not. An empath is somebody who can feel things. So if you're a person that can walk into a room and sense where the good is, where the bad is, sensing if you
That's
like
me.
a person, if you don't like a person,
That's me.
You can, now there's some people.
That's me too.
Yeah.
A lot of people. No,
Yep.
seriously, it's a lot of people. So it's so many people. I'm sure most of the listeners are going to think the same thing. But that's if you're empathic. Now it can go into more depth as well. Like so, I use that in what I do myself too. So I can feel. I can feel something. I can sense something. Once now the person who just uses that every day and goes to a New Year's Eve party and knows that that's the person they're going to kiss across the room because that's just an everyday thing. But when you actually use it in my line of work, it's really beneficial.
Yeah.
So you actually meet with people, though. You have
yeah.
private sessions with them.
Oh,
you
yeah,
do.
I'm booked for 2-3 months out. Yeah.
Wow. And how does someone get in touch with you if they feel like they need to have a conversation with you?
They can reach out to me through my email or they can go to my website. I always suggest going to my website.
And we
Okay.
did
You can
share
do-
that. We shared
Yeah,
your website.
LehighValleyMedium.com. So
Okay.
again, it's LehighValleyMedium.com. And you can find out about me. You can find out what my services are, what my rates are. You can contact me through there. You can buy gift certificates. You can shop. I have candles I created and came out with. So that's all available on there. And
Nice.
I'm actually I'm in the middle of I'm finishing doing my new website. So I'm actually be launching a whole new website in January, I believe.
Oh, wonderful.
Awesome.
yeah.
And what are the areas that you specialize in? Like when someone comes to you and they say, whatever. What who's going to be the love of my life or who's I mean, do you have
that's
people
more
that come to
psychic
you
readings,
and question
but
that?
I do that as well. All
Okay.
mediums are psychic, not all psychics are mediums. So
Okay.
I do touch upon that as well, but this isn't palm reading. I take it very seriously. People who come to me are usually looking for closure, peace, a sign that their loved ones are near. So for me, I don't even book my own appointments. I have an assistant who books. I don't like to know anything about my clients when they come. I always say, I'm like, don't tell me anything. They start saying like, well, I want to talk to my, nope, I don't want to know anything. So I like to have a clear clean slate. Yeah,
Right,
I don't like to
right.
know anything. I don't Facebook anybody. I don't, Google anybody. And I'm sure there are people that do that, but that actually interferes with my reading. So, because then I start second guessing everything I'm doing. So to answer your question, going back, every person that comes in is usually looking for closure or something in their life. I do get questions about love lives, and I do get things of that nature, but mainly I touch upon talking to loved ones that have passed.
So I know the last time that we were on the show with you that
was fun.
it was fun, but you actually had some visitors while we were on air.
I did. And it's funny because I actually got someone the car ride on the way here. And then when I recognized you, again, I don't know if that's who that is, but there was something about a necklace and a mother coming through. And it's funny. And then I don't know if that's you or that was somebody else in this room, but they brought the necklace with them, or they were going to bring it with them. But the point is they had it in their hands earlier. And that was in the car ride on the way over here. So I don't know. And then, I don't know.
Does that ring true with any of you?
No.
Nope. Okay.
No.
Something about a necklace. What about the lady in the other room? So
Well, we'll find out.
there's something about a necklace. So I'm like, a necklace? It's funny because it was right when this guy was cutting me off. Anyway, so
Maybe it had to do with him.
So, but it's funny. Yeah, I don't communicate the way most people think, where you sit. I'm not sitting in a room talking with the person. It's signs and images. So they showed me a necklace, and I saw it in somebody's hand, so they were holding it. Now, if they had it on, I would say it would be on, or if they had it in a jewelry box, but I saw it in the hand, which means that they were holding it. I don't know who that is. That could be a listener. I have no idea. So that's the thing, is I don't know who it goes to. I don't know what it's for, but that's what I got earlier. As of right now, I'm not getting anything. So
Okay.
that's because right now I'm a little nervous sitting in front of a microphone with headphones on. So I'm like, I think once I warm up, maybe I'll get a little bit more comfortable. I'm a little nervous right now.
Well, I know.
You're blocking. In a
I
way.
know the
I
last
just
time.
can't imagine that. You are just not the kind of person that I would imagine would get nervous.
Oh yeah, no. Everybody gets. Even Barbara Streisand gets nervous.
That's true.
Of course, I bring up I bring up Barbara Streisand. And
Oh, I love
leave it to
Barbara
the gay man
Streisand.
to bring up Barbara Streisand.
So tell us, what was the largest event that you've ever done in front of? I mean, you're nervous sitting here with a mic and headphones, but
It's
you're
true.
not nervous in front of people.
No, I love being in front of people. That's not a problem for me. I would say it was right around 50 people. So I'd like to grow that eventually, but right now it's about 50. I still feel like I have so many people to read, and when I get into a large group, because once I get into past 20 people, there's going to be people that aren't going to get a reading. So you can't get through every person. So I always
Right.
feel bad. People leave without a reading, and I feel bad. But I shouldn't feel bad, because you should be leaving feeling better than you came. And it's not about if I point to the person and give them a reading. It's about taking something that you picked up along the way, listening to other people's readings. So you should learn something about closure and learn something about seeing the actual reading and the actual the closure happening and the messages coming through. So like you guys, I don't know if can't remember if I read any of you.
You didn't.
Who did I read people in the room. I don't remember who I read.
Yeah, there were
There,
about,
there were several people in the room that you interacted with that
Yeah.
had one person that you kept going like this. I remember that. And then
You're
they
scratching your
talked
arm,
about,
what is it?
no, they talked about that
Other-
they had put rubber bands on. Her father had just passed away, and that's what he was always doing.
Oh,
And they had put rubber bands on him before he was laid to rest.
oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
So-
I don't remember my readings. I can't even tell you what I talked about yesterday with people. So it's interesting. It's you think I would retain it. I don't. It's like I stream, almost like radio. I stream, not download. So it's once
Annette,
it's
you
gone,
had-
it's gone.
You
know, I-
had, he read you, correct?
I don't remember what I read.
It's something about a rose.
Interesting. I don't remember. Sorry.
But when you
I
talk
remember
about
you, but I don't remember the reading.
when you talk about streaming, I understand what you mean,
Yeah.
because whatever gifts and talents you have, or shall I say gifts, you tend to, once you accept it and embrace it, you tend to not hold on to it, but allow it to flow in the order that it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And I think that makes the whole process so much easier, and when you're not cluttered with a whole lot of excess or stuff from the past, I think your abilities flow a lot freer. Would you
Exactly.
say? Yeah.
And in the way that I see things too, and this is kind of important because people need to understand, because they think I'm just, is there somebody around me? Is there's this, and I'm like, you made the joke earlier, and it's true, but I don't see it like that.
Right,
So
right.
I would just start getting images. It's almost like they pick my memories because it's always a memory that I've endured. So it's something I've smelled, touched, tasted, experienced, seen on something, even if it's TV.
That triggers you.
Yes, that
Okay.
would bring up
Right.
so when I said about this necklace, I saw a necklace and I saw it in a hand, but it looks like I'm holding it. So that's I don't know who it is who's holding it. I don't know what the necklace looks like, but it is a sign or a symbol. That would be something that would come through. And half the time I don't even know what it means because it's like, what does this mean? I don't know what this means. So, but the person does. So
Right.
it's interesting. It's hard to explain because it's all in my head.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but it makes sense.
Yeah,
And
it
like
make-
that, like the rubber bands, like what, how,
Mm-hmm.
even I'm like, oh, wow, that's really neat. And I'm the one who said it. I'm like, I didn't know what that meant. So yeah, that's interesting.
Well,
I say interesting a lot because it's so fascinating.
It really is the gifts that we are born with, that we begin to embrace and feel comfortable with. After a while, it becomes par for the course on a daily basis. And it's not that you're looking to make something happen or you're looking for anything; it just happens naturally.
It does.
And when you can feel it and sense it and embrace it and understand it, and you don't always understand because there are things that I get that I don't always understand.
Yeah.
But I know it means something or it's about something or someone. And so I just, whatever it is, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm just going to, whatever it is, I just let it flow. I don't hold on to stuff.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
Right.
And the thing is there's a reason why it wants out.
Right. Yeah. It
So-
wants out. Yeah.
There's a reason why it wants out.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to go to somebody.
So tell us about your favorite reading. Do you have one?
There's so many amazing stories, and I know this sounds like a cop-out to not answer that question, but there is so many amazing readings.
You
I'm like,
must have a really funny one.
oh God.
At least one.
It's funny because I don't remember a lot of my readings, so it's hard. But I'm like, well, how about that? This is just the other day. It's always easier for me to give like a small example than one favorite reading. I really don't have one favorite. I really don't. But like this was about maybe it was a month ago. Maybe they might be listening. Who knows? But I brought up the fact we were talking about her mother's recipes. It was her mother, and I said, I'm seeing this big stock pot. Like, so I go, I don't know if it's soup, chili, sauce. I go, it looks like sauce to me though. But I go, but I don't know what the item is. I just see it bubbling on a stove. So I'm like, but it looks like sauce. And she goes, no, it's sauce. I'm like, okay, that's great. So I'm like, I don't know why this is important, but I go, she's saying you're using the wrong garlic. And I said, I don't know how that's possible. How do you use wrong garlic? It's like saying you're using the wrong onion. I'm like, I mean, I guess there is different onions. Garlic. I only know one garlic. That's me. So that didn't make sense to me. But she started.
Understood.
She started laughing, and the reason why is she said her mother used to make and she makes this like twice a year. It's huge batches, so she has to chop a ton of garlic. She goes, I don't have time for that, so I use jarred. And she said the funny thing is when she puts it in. Right before she spoons the garlic, and she always says, I know, I'm so sorry, Mom, please don't be mad. And she puts this garlic into the sauce, and here I am. I'm like, you used the wrong garlic? So,
Because it's pre-done.
yeah. So
Amazing.
is that my favorite? No, but I thought that was hilarious. Like, how the hell would I know that? I don't even know what this was she was making. I'm like, you're using the wrong garlic? How does that make sense?
Yeah.
I've told people that they're doing this right or this wrong, and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But they do, and that's all that
Yeah,
matters.
And that's all that matters.
But the garlic thing, I thought that was funny, and that was about 2 weeks ago. But I get things like that, like things that how the heck would anybody know that? Like when I'm telling people with their spouse sitting next to them, stuff where it's like, yeah, I've never even told my spouse that. So, yeah, I'm like,
As you speak, I'm beginning to think I'm a medium.
why?
Because you know what? Years ago.
I'm a large then.
So what did you say?
I said, then I'm a large. If you're a medium, honey, I'm a large. Anyway.
You know, I would wake up about 3:00 in the morning, and this happened for about 2 years, and stuff would just be flowing and flowing, and I'd wake up and I'd say, well, how do I know that? I'm like, it would just creep me out, and then I would go to bed with this pad and this pen because I knew I'd never be able to retain it because it was coming so fast.
It does come very fast.
And it comes very fast.
It comes and it goes.
And thank God I knew shorthand because I would write it down in shorthand because it was coming that fast. And there were things about people who lived in a faraway time. And I was like, well, how in the heck do I know that? Why do I know that? You know, so I mean, it's kind of calmed down, and I still get bits and pieces every now and then of stuff, but I don't really pay it a lot of attention. I'm really busy, so I don't have time to kind of focus in on it or zero in on it. But you know, maybe I have some of those residual
Tendencies.
talents. Yeah.
Yeah.
So would can
Yes. I mean, it says the question is, can empaths have premonitions? I almost said prima donnas. Anyway,
Yes.
but
yes to both?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, if you're an empath, you probably have even more gifts than you even have touched upon. I'll be honest about that. So that might even mean that you might be a psychic. So I don't know. Everybody's situations are different. So it's so hard to be like, yes, automatically, yes.
Right.
Everybody's situations are different. Not every medium sees things the way I do. I'm with my main, I hate saying power, but my main focus is clairvoyancy, which is when I see the images in my head. Clairaudient is when you hear things.
Hear it.
And this is what was confusing. And if anybody's watching and they connect with this is why I was very confused, because you would think you would hear a voice. You don't hear a voice. It's your own voice. It's usually your own voice, or it's a voice of Betty White, Oprah, whoever.
Somebody else's voice.
But it's a voice you've heard, your mother's voice, you know, a doctor, whoever's been in your life, but it's a voice you probably recognize, but it's not, because how would I know? If I've never heard somebody's voice, how can I hear somebody's voice I've never heard before?
Yeah.
Do you understand? So it's
absolutely.
It's
It
interesting
makes
because I
perfect
asked her
sense.
this when I went to my first meeting about, you know, what I am, and I said, I go, but how am I hearing things, but I'm hearing it in my own voice? I don't understand that. And she goes, well, they don't have vocal cords, so you're going to hear it in a different type of voice. So, and I'll give you an example. I always say, if you want to know if people say, I'm trying to think of how they ask that question. They usually ask the question along the lines of, how would I know what I should be paying attention to? Like if I'm getting an image, or if I'm getting something that I should be paying attention to, like you said, premonition or something. I say, listen to the voice that's not your own. Like if you're having an argument with yourself and I'll give you an example. This is just easier for me to explain. So when I was sitting at a stoplight and I'm just sitting in the car, I think it was Beyonce, I don't know. I listened to some music, just having a nice time in the car, sitting at the red light, and something told me to turn right. And I'm like, turn right? You know, the way I say it, I'm like, turn right? Why would I turn right? I'm like, that would take me 5 minutes out of the way. And I'm like, yeah. I kind of ignored it, and I just sat there and said, turn right. And I'm like, and now the light turned green, and I'm like, well, do I turn right? I'm like, why? I don't need to go right. Why would I turn right? So I went ahead. I didn't see any traffic. I'm like, okay, whatever. Now I'm thinking, and then as soon as I passed, it went, you should have turned. I'm like, what do you mean you should have turned? I'm thinking like, who is this? But it's my own voice saying it. So I'm thinking I'm going crazy. I'm like, why? Nope. About, I don't know, 100 feet up the road, 500 feet, whatever. I'm not good at math. Anyway,
You know.
this RCN person or whatever, construction worker, whoever it was, stood in front of everybody with a stop sign. We sat there for 9 minutes. And I'm like, you're kidding me. I'm like, I should have freaking listened. And I'm like, the thing is that stuff happens all the time. And that's everybody does it. You ever do that when you go home and you're like, something said, get milk on the way home or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I just went shopping. I already have milk. And then you go home, so you don't get the milk. And then your husband says, oh, honey, I meant to text you. We need milk because the kids spilled it or whatever. And you're like, that's so weird. I almost stopped for milk too. And I'm using weird examples, but do you understand that? Where you're like,
Right.
that's so weird. I
Perfectly.
was thinking about that on the way home. that's so weird. I'm like, it's that voice inside that you even question that. It's like, why would I do that? Who are you talking to? That's what I ask.
Right.
Who do you think you're talking to? Why would you ask yourself those questions? Like, why would I do that? Like, so where do you think that's coming from? Now, I'm using everyday little situations, but what if it was to keep you from harm, or to keep somebody else from harm, or to give somebody else a message? That's the voice I hear on a daily basis. But is it all the time? No, it's out of the blue. I did this one time on the highway. I was driving on, and I'm always in the car, so I was driving on the highway, and something said, "Get over," and I'm like, oh, okay. So I put my blinker on, and I got over, and I kid you not, about a minute later, in the lane that I was in, a tire flew and was bouncing down the highway, and it would have hit my car. Wow. So I'm like, okay, I'm always gonna listen to that voice.
You know what? I'm feeling you, because that happens to me a lot. And, I've gotten to the point now where if I hear that voice that says, turn right, or don't go that way, go this way, I listen now. Because,
always listen.
And I tell my grandchildren and even my daughter, I said, you know what? I'd rather listen than not listen. Maybe I'm avoiding a terrible accident.
And everybody goes to the terrible accident, but it also, what if you were going to bump into somebody you didn't want to see wherever you were going?
Right.
What if you're not meant to be there at that time because you would not meet the person, the man of your dreams, or something like that? You'll never know.
Absolutely.
The only way you will know is if you don't listen, and that's when you're going to be like, son of a, I should have listened.
I should have listened.
I edited myself there.
Yeah.
So. I don't know what the FCC regulations are on this. So.
I want to ask our audience. You guys have any questions? Our live audience
please.
here. Anybody?
All right,
Okay.
come on over.
Bring
Come
her up,
right
bring
on
her
over
up.
here. Come right over here and share it with me. Go ahead.
How's my grandmother and my father doing?
I don't know.
I like your answer. Being honest.
I am. That's the one thing I will give. I am completely honest. If I don't know something, I'm not going to give you a fake answer. So, I don't know. I don't really necessarily pull information that way.
Right.
So it's one of those where when it comes to me, like, did you have anything with a necklace? Because you see that came to me naturally. So do you see what I mean? I would rather something come to me naturally than not.
Well, I did have this necklace in my hand earlier today before I came here because I was trying to figure out if I wanted to take it off.
Why would you take it off?
Just to wear my own bare neck.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then something was like, no, so I just left it alone.
Interesting. Now, where's the necklace from?
I just bought it.
Oh, it's just okay. So it's not significant.
No, it's not.
Okay. So
He's
just
looking
checking.
for a
Anybody
significant
here
necklace.
have a
Wait,
significant
what-
necklace story?
What's this? Because it's always significant. It's something. Real quick before we go to your necklace, because somebody's holding up. Now Alex is holding up a necklace. Hold on, but before, just no. And I will tell you something I got for one of you two back here. Okay. I know. Sorry. It's always significant. Listen, if they come through, you know how many couches I've brought through, chairs, tables, mirrors, lamps, whatever. Listen, we're sitting in chairs, all right? I even say, whenever I say, I'm like, what's the significance with a chair? And they're like, I don't know, they had them. I'm like, okay, girl, we all have chairs, all right? Even homeless people sometimes sit in chairs. So we all have chairs. I'm like, I know that. So it's something significant. So I had this one time and we're going to go to your necklace, and I'm going to tell you, I had this at a group reading specifically. And when I said a chair, and the woman said, she goes, I don't know, my mom had lots of chairs. I'm like, yeah, no, I've got lots of chairs. And we go, I understand that. So it's something significant. I'm like, so, and she goes, well, she used to sit in one. I don't know if anybody can see me rolling my eyes, but yes, we all sit in chairs. When she couldn't get up the stairs anymore to go to bed, she used to sleep in it in the living room. And then when she got even more sick, then she passed away in the chair. I'm like, okay, all right. Okay, then she said after